Hey, what's up, y'all? It's me again, Tasha C. And it's 4:33 in the morning after waiting for the other video to process everything, not including uploading it to YouTube. So, like I said, after this one process, my ass is going to bed, y'all. So, anyway, y'all, it's me, Tasha C. again. I know I'm just repeating myself, but hi to all my subscribers and all the upcoming new subscribers. And thank you for everybody who's been supporting me, including my YouTube buddies and fellow YouTubers, and thank you for people just been viewing and sharing, commenting, liking my videos, and thank you for all the support, y'all. And I hope y'all had, if y'all didn't see the last video, I hope y'all had a lovely Merry Christmas, and y'all having happy Kwanzaa, anybody celebrating Kwanzaa, and a happy Holidays, and had a happy day, night, weekend period, and you don't, follow any religions. I'm still wishing y'all a happy new year. So, anyway, y'all, um, sorry, like I said, it's before, but we about to get into this filler episode. And I'm the type of person who rambles, and also like to say, if y'all get a chance, look at my testimonial video if you haven't looked before. It's about almost an hour long, just letting y'all know that. And I also was on Jay Mayo's Up to Discussion. Shout out to him. And if you get a chance, listen to the podcast. I was made a guest appearance. He asked me to do for the podcast we do the topic when infatuation turns obsession. So if you get a chance, check that out too. Very great. Then we do it again. So y'all, let's get into this filler episode. Now to get this out the way, I know I'm fast forwarding, but we might as well just get the last part where they're united and we have the flying cockroach, which I can understand why all the women were flying, getting away from the thing. Because if y'all notice the editing, they made it seem like since it was a haunted, Savannah's haunted, they made it edit in a way to make it seem like as if something got knocked, like a spirit was present in the house. You know what I mean? But it was still some reason to be scared as hell. You see a flying goddamn cockroach just trying, flying and shit. Not just a cockroach. This damn thing was about this big and just flying and shit like a fucking superhero villain. Just letting y'all disclaimer, I do curse a lot. Whoops. But he was flying like a superhero. Okay, so I can understand why the women were still reacting that way, but the editing made it seem as if it was some type of, like spirit or something had shaken the house or was shaking the table, as Kay Michelle was saying. So, anyways, the second last part, they bonded at the dinner after they, kumbaya at the, the drag queen event, and Kenya, I think, could have been, like not faced by the two reasons. She obviously could have been the area, or could have been used to cockroaches, and or because I have to remind you of this, but I've had to see a lot of this, especially going to cast, because I went to cast, not said like several years after Kenya, but what I'm saying is this here. When I went, we having problems. It was on the news. We didn't have enough goddamn toilet paper for our goddamn bathrooms. They have a new building now. They made about some years ago, not too long ago. But in the old building was like 7 to 8 floors and shit. There were problems. I remember cockroach had nerves my first class, my first semester there. Just roll across my desk. They had to exterminate cockroach. Used to use some mouse and rats sometimes in some places. They eventually got rid of the problem. What I'm saying is, it's like, she might have got used to sometimes. I don't know if they had that problem there when she went, but I know I seen it a couple times when I was attending cast support. I attended there the whole full 4 years. That's when we're gonna leave it as that. So, so she might have been adjusted just based on that alone, okay? But anyways, y'all, then we got the last part where Portia has her count on me. Count on me moment got registered on Whitney Houston, but it makes me think about that song "Count on Me," Big Man from the Wedding Cell soundtrack, because Portia again wants to remind the ladies, she appreciate them, and Nene's kind of like, well, you should have told, you need to text me back and stuff like that. You can't just have it one-sided, which is true. So Portia, supposedly they are going to keep together and unite as long as the season ends or whatever to the next next couple episodes. Because as we see in the previews, the next episode, oh yeah, I know, yeah, it's gonna be something to talk about, okay? So. But anyways, Portia went away. She tried to hug me. Needy already has been told, you've been sitting there and had a few extra cocktails or whatever. So let's fast forward to the beginning. Needy next day, wants the girls to bond, was bond, so they're supposed to have, they're cooking breakfast and they're cooking, I guess later on some, some food, whatever. But originally was the plan until certain events. We have the event, which is could be an open questions about topic about how to raise your kids, and there's, you got to think about it. I mean, unless you're beating a child's ass into some abuse and stuff like that, other abuse going on, or neglect, you see what I'm saying? It's an opening question. I don't have any kids yet, but it's the thing is that you have to wonder about when Cynthia was bringing up the issue about the boyfriend thing and, taking the boy back to the fourth movie to make sure, like, okay, I understand I'm getting freedom, but I'm letting you know, where I picked your ass up at, you better, when I pick you up type of thing. And Nene takes the time out, which was pretty interesting. It could have been Cynthia could have been crying because either it could be some things going on that she doesn't want to deal with, or maybe because here's her precious Nene is sitting up here, and she probably wouldn't expect Nene to sit here and make comments about the situation. And then also we have all these cameras that will be putting this on this season. Could have been another reason. So I'm kind of wondering, did she kind of like get all upset and stuff? Because this is Nene, and we all know how Cynthia, at least, on the show, I don't know if they really associate with each other too much now past once, the cameras in the season and, and is gone. But we noticed that she, got upset, and I'm kind of thinking like, would it have been different if it would have been somebody else, what I'm saying that comment, but not, not her Nene. You know what I mean? It just seemed like that might have been the reason she had to call Noel everything. And here I can understand maybe Portia understand, because she's looking at, because, also in the conversation about sex, Candy talking about she's doing, FaceTime, they do phone sex or whatever, because, but you notice, also I want to point out Monique with the silent Y. She just was the bobblehead yeser of the whole entire thing. Now she was trying to cut in and get extra time to last, and we all know how the last episode, and we all know how that ended. But she only get one word, and that's when she cut on glass by the famous or the oldest or the oldest the game or the legend in the game of Savannah drag queens. We'll get in that second. But anyways, y'all. Now, we sit here and, Kenya, I think it was Kenya's time. Now, like I said, due to Kenya's behavior, we all know you can't, as Jay-Z says, we don't believe you. We need more people. Was that towards, Havoc or Prodigy, or was that towards Havoc and, the group when it used to be Mobb Deep? I know that's off subject, but I could have sworn it was like one of his disses back in the days. We don't believe you. You need more. You need more people. I don't know. It's just still stuck with me, y'all. But what I'm saying is that Kenya takes the time to sit here and say she has a tough shell, as a result of her mom. That's why she doesn't want to have a daughter, because it reminds her of her mom. Her mom never showed her emotions and stuff like that. It doesn't just seem like the same scene when Olivia was bringing out about kind of like not having a close relationship with her mom, but yet she went back to stay with her mom, before she just faded off love and hip hop. Yeah. But it's the same thing we can say about this episode, because like I said, with Nene saying that also comment, it can be brought up like this here. Like, not to bring up or knock nobody's side, but the way Nene talks, we all know she kind of talks, she's back to talking down to folks, and she's such a rich bitch. But yet, like I said, you can't, it is not to generalize every man or female, for example, that are in the possession that they might be a dancer. But it's like she's quick enough to talk about other folks and their parenting skills, and people can bring up like, okay, now this is the stuff I didn't even like pay attention to the first couple of episodes of really watching that much until the last few seasons, right? My mom been one kind of watching it, and one of my sisters they've been more watching it more than me. But the stuff we see with Burton, like I said, the Walmart thing, he's stealing, Galette's razors and shit, and a bar of Ivory soap out of Walmart. He got arrested for visiting somebody, I think, that was also incarcerated. And you know how they, what I'm saying, they check you, places such as that. And he had a bag of weed on this stuff going and past the thing. And then that's just the little stuff. And there was some other stuff too, but that's just the stuff, because they were talking about his favor being in and out of control. Now, that's the stuff we see on TV, okay? Then I think, like, the new truck that he got for graduation, I know I remember seeing that. He totaled that and they got him another car and they kept trying to help him get chances. He just wasn't getting it. Because I know Nene was saying, like, in down the south, certain ways, and these girls are fast as heck, and unfortunately, we do live in a society where my generation was already, but now this generation here is, the '90s babies, like even some of the late '80s babies, let alone the '90s and beyond. Okay, is one of them Lord's help me to hold on moments. Okay, it's the way it's going, y'all. So what I'm saying is that Nene is like one of those people is it could be considered judging and it could be just like, okay, it could have been something that she could have brought up later on. You see what I'm saying? Like maybe to Nene off about to Cynthia, my bad. Off cameras, because it's just like the way she was coming at her and telling her certain stuff. It's like you out of all people should be understanding. Number one, that's supposed to be your main girl, And number two, because you all the people know what it's like. Sometimes you can do everything you can, and your child still turns out to be not the way it turns out to be dealt, or unfortunately goes sideways, and stuff like that. And it's just like, what about, like we said, we don't know all the stuff that he probably had done that was not filmed or before they even got on this show. And we're just gonna leave it as that. But like I said, Cynthia just needs to calm down with her cases. Kenya came in there, like I said, to turn her violent story, and her and Portia bond about, how we see people, women, or I guess particularly women, how they wish to be mothers, and then the thing with parenting styles, and then they appreciate, they think, well, Kenny was like, she just felt like, she could have been saying this also to get attention to the side, like maybe if I play nice, I can get a couple more scenes and a couple more added dollars to my check, my cashier's check at the end of the season. So, anyways, y'all, she after that scene, I think they cut until before, they're still cooking. I think we see Phaedra and Kendra this season. But anyway, y'all, I know I'm cutting off into that same dinner. But did y'all notice when Phaedra, also with Portia, too many P's. Portia was end up saying this, y'all. And they were talking about how Coochie wouldn't look right close up. And then y'all notice when she was talking about that she has a tattoo above her cooch. And then she said something about I had to have my piercing removed when she was pregnant, when unfortunately before she had that miscarriage. And I've been like, piercing where? Did you know she kind of left that open, or y'all paid attention when she said piercing? I mean, that's her business. She wanted to do that, but I'm just saying this. The way she kind of, to a certain extent, acts like she's kind of like stiff, whatever the case is. But then I'm thinking like, okay, you said piercing, but you can still get a belly button piercing thing. They have them for pregnant. So where was that piercing at, Portia? I'm just saying she kind of left that open. So I'm just saying, she kind of has, I guess, I don't know. It just threw me off when she said that. Okay. But anyways, y'all. So in later on, they're talking about, of course, Nene has to say to talk Portia. She's about talking about Portia. Portia's still upset about the whole divorce marriage thing, how she went to Instagram, and how she, I think also too was talking about Cynthia about being an instant mom, and she was really close to Cordell. I'm sorry, I was calling Corey last at my last slash big review. But she went on his Instagram to see the little boy, and Nene said this, maybe y'all can have a chance to still work it out, maybe to put it on hold, and maybe y'all just need time to, try to still see there might be still a chance. And so, but I noticed when Nene was saying, like, it's okay for you to cry, there are moments are going to be cry. But in the confessionals, you just hear, like, she needs to move on, Portia. You need to move on. I just noticed that. So, back to fast forwarding when they're talking about stuff. Because, like I said, it was really pretty boring. So, yeah, but when they were talking about, Nene again was on this message of trying to get everybody along because there was like crying tears and a bunch of drama on the Savannah trip that she planned, okay? And we noticed that when Kenya sat there, and y'all noticed that this comment, when she was like, Nene for an issue, like, y'all have to bury the hatchet or whatever, y'all didn't seem like you were our friendly. Of course, Kenya made it sure that no, we're not really, I wasn't really talking to her or nothing like that. And then I noticed this. Now, she sat here and said some comment because, Nene had brought up, like, well, she, of course, Kenya was like, I don't know where she came from, trying to pretend like the whole alleged thing, well, Paula was just still up in the air, and if they did, Phaedra forgive them, that's just that, okay? But what I'm saying is that, did you know she gonna sit here and again, she been just taking jabs, that's so violin story that she said in the beginning, of course, went out the window because back she was back to trying, throwing out. This ain't even shade. This is blinds, but you get what I'm saying, y'all. So back to trying to throw shade, and she brings up about I'm not going to the prisons or whatever to to find my man and stuff like that. Um, we know that, Kenya, because this is why. We know you like to look for men in fairy tales, somewhere else in your mind that nobody else wants to know about, somewhere deep in there, and also in classic African American films. And the reason why I say that is, now her new man is quote quote Prince Hakeem, right? And then when I'm thinking about it, consider that Kenya is an Oscar nominated actress. And she happens, to be at what I'm saying is even if she's a B list, Z list, negative zero actress, still this whole thing of trying to get attention and stuff like that, my whole thing is she's one of those people like to make believe stuff of what I'm starting to gather and then try to get here and get so many times. So when I think about Prince Hakeem, I thought about somebody was watching Coming to America, Sexual Chocolate. She was your queen to be, okay? Eddie Murphy's name is Prince Hakeem. Whoops. Also, yeah, so you just had this. They go their way out. Kenya wants to bring her fabulous bitch dog Velvet. Supposedly, her dog is sick. Even though I'm thinking like you had a system to bring the dog to you, or you had other people, they couldn't take him to the vet. So bringing him out here, or her out here, were you going to take her to a vet out here in Savannah, or were you going to? Whatever, girl. Just trying to get time. She ended up trying to talk to Phaedra or listen to Nene's advice later. I know I skipped a lot of parts, but like I said, it was a damn filler. And, Phaedra was over it. She slid in there. Nene came in there, and I think that Kenya came in there. Here, Kenya's trying to say, okay, I know we have some stuff going on. Phaedra's just like, okay, Rich, time for her to pump a bit too. She had the machine. And then Kenya still kept trying to bring up the issue. And even Phaedra's like, okay, I'm over the issue. I'm on with my life. He knows how she took a little jab, and was just like, I got my baby. Whoops, my children. And I'm about to graduate in biology school in 3 months. In other words, letting you know, like, not like you, I have something, a couple things that you'll want, or probably will not get. A couple degrees. Like I said, I don't know if Kenya has finished school or not, but she doesn't mention it. But I'm just saying, she was letting her know, the kids you want, I have, bitch. I mean, I'm just saying, maybe it was just me, but I felt like I was taking a dab at her, but letting her know, like, I got time for shit. But I can understand why Phaedra didn't have time for that mess. You know what I mean? So they get to the drag show. Nene's drunk has Monique was signed. Why this is when she had those the drag queen come to them, which Nene was kind of slurred, and also Kenya again decides to take another damn jab at Miss Nene and sitting here and telling her about the whole thing with calling her that she looks like a drag queen, has an Adam's apple, and I don't know if she touched or anything. And Kenya likes I think shout out to Ashley Miller and together we both had said it, they both were saying something along the lines. I think of like, this she don't have a lot to explain to you, but we already know Kenya's gonna play victim. Just like I said, she's lucky and I'm like, why is nobody bringing about how she also threatened, besides bringing up that AIDS thing, the thing about threatening to attack Phaedra pregnant or not. So Phaedra doesn't owe her anything but get the fuck on. You threaten to, threaten to me and my unborn child's life. She lucky that they desperate for having some drama on the show will allow her back on the show after that threat. Shoot. So anyways, y'all, after they little drag queen little episode, I think that's when they go back to the house, and this is before I'm just gonna talk about this last little scene because Candy was saying something along the lines about, she wants to make a musical, she wants to invite the other ladies. And my last point is, about Nene sitting up here talking about some, oh, well, I'm gonna be busy. And the first thing that came to mind was, I know they said earlier that the new normal was canceled due to people were up here, talking about they weren't ready for the show, right? Because, Monique, even though they're good friends, Monique with a silent Y decides to ask her at the table. This was earlier down breakfast time when Cynthia had the breakdown, right? She decides to sit here and and ask her friend that she's so close or cool with at the table on cue, script number or scene 4, um, and ask her about this thing with the new normal. And the show we already know was canceled. My whole thing is I do want to point this out here. I had looked before I actually did this video, just Wikipedia, Google. The show got taken off after 1 season, but like I said, NBC got a curse now with all these most majority shows, whether they're good or bad. And the reason why I said it is, wasn't Will and Grace on for 8 seasons? I looked and said 1998 and 2004. Oh, they were on for 8 seasons, okay? And they also dealt with two of the main characters who were homosexual men. I'm just saying they last, or maybe because they had a black person in the cast too, and also dealing with them. I'm just saying is, okay, if that's the excuse, why was Will and Grace able to have not only they didn't get canceled, they went and had a series finale. Okay, they had a final episode to that show. Just some things to think about. Niggas acting like she started showing stuff like that, but still, I'm like, even though I heard good reviews and I never unfortunately got a chance to see it, I'm just saying that they had a show that was popular and probably had protests, but they were able to obviously override and keep that show on for 8 damn seasons. So yeah, what was your reason that y'all couldn't stay on there? But like I said, NBC has a curse anyway, so it don't matter. Y'all know how that goes now. Somebody says now you want to get on NBC, for what? Unless I'm gonna be a character on Blacklist or something like that. Because that's the only show that might last now. That's new. Okay, so, but like I said, she said to Kane when Kane was inviting ladies to be part of this musical that she just done. I know Phaedra and Apollo, they looked at kind of like shocked they were taking pictures of, but I know her and Todd, her fiance Todd, I don't know if they married now. Did the show and stuff like that. Need to decide, oh, I'm busy. I probably already said this, but I like to say, excuse me, y'all, it's 4:55 a.m. in the morning. And yeah, and then she got nerves talking about I'm busy. And I'm thinking, busy? Well, how? We already know, your checks and everything. What are you, Kelly Price busy? Right about now, compared to what all the stuff you supposed to do. I mean, like I said, she could be have some other business on the side. But I mean, Nene has already informed us about all the shows she has done, stuff like that. Maybe she has some other scripts in the making. But I just want to point out the first thing I thought about when she talking about the busy. I'm like, oh, she must know Kelly Price. Anyways, y'all, that's the end of my review. Y'all have a wonderful, pleasant tomorrow. This weekend, I'm not probably uploading this until mid tomorrow, but I will be doing a review. So thank you, everyone. Have a lovely night. Blah blah blah. I'm sorry I had to say that, and I just want to thank you all, my subscribers, new subscribers, old subscribers, are kicking it with me, my YouTube friends, fellows, YouTubers, and everything else. And y'all have a pleasant day and evening. Y'all go have a good night. Bye bye. And see y'all in the next episode, which will be quite entertaining in that next one. Okay. Bye bye, y'all.